Oh, hi. This week, I am actually doing an alteration on a friend's dress of mine. A friend of mine's dress. I'm not feeling great this week, so this is probably going to be on the shorter side. Though how often do I threaten that? And then we're here half an hour later. This is the kind of thing that I get asked about. As soon as someone locally finds out that I sew, they're like, oh, I have this, could you do this for me? This is a dress with a fitted waistband, like it's all woven, there's no knit anything happening here, and it has ties at the back for the top, but it has an invisible zipper at the back, and I don't want to mess with that, so we're not going to. Here's my battle plan. I saw that there's a side seam on the left and right of the waistband, and that's where it's too tight, where obviously like the top is adjustable. I can take that apart, add a little panel to it, but when you add in one place, you have to add to anything that's connecting to. We talked about doing black fabric because it's like a deep navy dress, but then I realized I have black elastic that's the same height as the waistband pieces. So I can add this into here and kind of like fold the waistband edges around it, if that makes sense. We'll pick it apart together and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I feel like that's going to be the most helpful bit. Here's the thing though, if this was just like an A-line skirt and it was just back panel, front panel attached to a side seam, I'd have to add there almost like a gore, like a triangle piece of fabric, and ease into the rest of the skirt. But this has some gathering going on right here. What I'm going to be able to do is when I separate the waistband from the skirt piece and add that elastic bit in, I can just undo a little bit of the gathering and it just won't be as full on the side here. But we're adding like an inch max on each side. Like I cut these at 1.5 inches each, so if there's 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, it's gonna be between 3/4 and an inch. Is that good math? But I figure like adding some elastic, it's obviously gonna have that much more give because I don't have the person here to like do a bunch of fittings. Having the elastic will give a bigger range of comfortable fits. They can get it on as just like you can't move or anything. That's why I'm getting away with adding such small bits to either side, where sometimes you got to take different approaches if it's a bigger size discrepancy. At least for this is how I'm going to tackle it when something isn't quite big enough. Let's get into it. Okay, so listen. All I have to do to finish this alteration is serge along here, just to clean these edges up and kind of match it up with the rest of everything going on in here, even it out. I'm very pleased with how this turned out, like expandable panels, both sides. And not that what I'm about to do is gonna affect anybody till next week, but I just realized the project I was saving for next week's video needs the white serger thread, and my serger is currently threaded with that, and this is how much I hate changing the serger spools. Is I'm gonna start filming a whole video. You don't even know what's in the bag. It's a t-shirt alteration that someone had me do. A Taylor Swift t-shirt alteration, of all things. I haven't even started on it yet, and I already have some thoughts. But yeah, if you see me wearing the same outfit and you see this in the background, that's why this is happening right now, because I don't want to change the serger spools twice. I don't know why it always feels so laborious. It's really not. Even if I have to start from scratch and rethread the whole machine, it's like a minute of time. But hopefully you are watching me serge the dress with the black thread right now, and we can wrap up this project. All right, gang, we did it. It is complete. I am so proud of how these came out. It looks so neat. It looks like it's supposed to be there. And they're real even, and I managed to find like the perfect thread for it. That one feels good. I do still have to hem it, but that's the easy part. It's kind of fun, actually. And I feel like I get really overwhelmed and stressed out when people ask me to do alterations, because it feels like a lot of pressure. I used to shy away from any and all alteration type things because I was like, well, I'm not actually capable of any of these, but I'm actually being realistic about what I can and cannot do. And so far, not to be like, I could do anything, but I have yet to be presented with something from someone that's like a reasonable request that I haven't been able to do. Where there's someone that has asked me multiple times for years now if I can mend his threadbare sheets, and it's one thing if they get torn and there's a hole and you just need it repaired or put a patch over it or like find some creative way to cover it up. But when the sheets are so worn that like you can see through it, there's nothing I can do to help. Oh, okay. I think that's it. I did finish the other dress the other shirt I was working on. My brain is fried. And real talk, as always, the only reason I was able to get myself some really swanky fabric, which I don't know if I actually showed you or not, which glow-in-the-dark woodland critters on birch trees. This super incredible skull situation. There's a couple different kinds of skulls. I love it very, very, very much. And then some rainbow skeletons. So very hyped about the fabric I have discovered, but I was able to acquire that, and I'll get to take the time to noodle around with what I want to turn those into and some other fabric I have set aside, because everybody over on Patreon is giving me the opportunity to take this time to work on videos, to share this kind of stuff with you, and basically live my dream. So for however long I can make this last, I am trying to revel in every minute of it and just be forever grateful. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you everybody that's bought stuff on my Etsy. I do also still have a coffee. I feel like I never mentioned that. All right. I will see you back here with another alterations video next Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Maybe this is just me being like too strong of an empath, but I do feel weird having someone else's dress on my dress form and like messing around with it. I don't know why that feels more invasive. I just wanted to get them like off of my brain plate. Off my plate, out of my brain. Both of those things. I do often feel like a Rice Krispie treat with the snap, crackle, and poppin'. Perhaps snap, crackle, poppin'. Ugh.